I think I think the
Hmm.
biggest thing is that coexisting with the existing flora and fauna on property. One, you can learn a lot about what's happening on your property and where things need to be mended or things are kind of balanced. Um, the most important thing to me is like diversity. Diversity rules it all. So the more diversity you can add to it into any farming system, I think the better it is. Whether that's animals or rotational grazing. We talked about the dry leaves and things like that. Rotating your crops, obviously, so you don't deplete soils and specific elements. But I think one of my favorite things to do, and I learned this just maybe 10 years ago, is I like to do every fourth row in my fields with a flower, like a mixed flower bed. So it could have 50 different species of different pollinating flowers. I like to do that. And one thing that I really learned by doing that is I isolated about a quarter of an acre. I did every fourth row in flowers, and then I flanked the whole perimeter of the field in the square that it was in by flowers. And one thing I learned immediately is that the plants that coexisted in there, specifically brassicas, that was my test here, is to
Hmm.
see if the cabbage white and the predators from other other insects that like to eat those greens and those flowers and stuff. I noticed almost immediately like there was no impact from pests from doing that. And I'd sit out there at sunrise and sunset in the height of summer, and you could see it was just like a bug highway all the way around the flower beds. Everything's moving,
Hmm.
consuming, pooping, peeing,
Hmm.
flying. It's creating movement in the atmosphere. But I also think that the plants reacted very positively to it. You could tell they were being manicured and they were being looked after. But that was kind of a proof that the ecology will take care of itself if you kind of put the set and setting together. And for the patrons too, when they come out and they see stuff like that, it kind of re-fortifies our movement that we're not a sterile cornfield or a soybean field or a winter wheat field, which is very common in this area. Those fields are generally lifeless with one monocrop dominating the whole landscape. And the natural world is just not designed for that.